Beloved Starseed of Gaia, I am Luminaya. This transmission awakens the sacred truth that the Source is connecting you to a younger partner for a divine purpose. Do you feel it? This subtle stirring within your depths. A quiet insistence. A yearning for a resonance you cannot yet name, but deeply sense. A restlessness that speaks not of dissatisfaction, but of an imminent, profound alignment. It pulses. A soft thrumming beneath the surface of your conscious awareness. A new frequency begins its gentle ascent, weaving through your energetic field. It feels like a promise held in starlight, a premonition of reunion. For so long, perhaps you have walked with an unarticulated longing, a sense of carrying a vast knowing, an expansive love, meant for a shared journey. You have known moments of profound isolation, moments where the wisdom within you felt too ancient, too singular, to be fully met. This path of silent preparation, it has etched itself upon your soul, left an indelible mark of patient waiting, a cosmic solitude. It was never a fracture to be mourned, but a space held sacred, a vessel primed for a most divine co-creation. I feel this within you, the delicate tremor of your heart as it registers this truth, the deep imprint of a forgotten bond, the longing for a soul mirror, one whose presence ignites a specific potent frequency within your own. We see your unwavering light, your steadfast essence. Through all the veils, all the forgotten dreams, now a current is born, a flow of pure source energy, threading, gently, irrevocably, it reaches towards you and towards another, a younger soul, whose energetic signature, though unfolding upon a different timeline, carries a vibration deeply harmonized with yours, a sacred counterpoint, a divine complement. This weaving is not a future event. It is now, activating, expanding, an inner unlocking that reverberates through your cellular memory, a quiet expansion within the heart space, a profound sense of recognition beginning to dawn. Feel this energy. Let it settle. Let it activate. Now, if this resonance stirs a truth within you, seal it with a silent like, an inner vow to anchor this remembering. If this transmission lights a path for your unfolding, subscribe to keep its current alive within your field. And if you feel the immense power of this divine weaving, offer a super like, expanding its reach, sharing its sacred potential with those who also await this sacred alignment. To affirm this sacred recognition, comment below with the words, "Sacred thread." The current deepens, pulsing, awaiting. Do you feel the faint brush of destiny in the ethers? The whisper of an arriving dawn? The journey has just begun. The connection shifts. Now, in this moment. Listen. Feel. A shift initiates, deep within the core. A tremor vibrates. Beneath the forgotten, the ancient pulse quickens. So does your own. This persistent ache, this fracturing doubt that has shadowed your path. It was never a flaw within your own becoming, never a testament to your personal failing. This deep-seated confusion, the disorientation that whispers of not belonging, it is the signature of an energetic program, a sophisticated vibration, meticulously woven into the very fabric of this density, designed to obscure remembrance, to limit expansion. It is a veil, shimmering with intent, cast long ago. Mirrors fragmented your light, scattering reflection until the whole was unseen. A light folded in on itself, meticulously dimmed, so that the brilliance of your origin could not pierce through the illusion. You were encoded not to believe in yourself. This very core of dis-ease was not accidental. It was by design, a sacred disruption, now understood, an unsettling truth that resonates deep in your bone memory. But this very suffering, this profound sense of emptiness you may have carried, was not an absence to be filled by external seeking. It was a soul key, a sacred chamber, meticulously carved by the pressures of time and forgetting. Now ready to receive the crystalline memory, to be flooded by the ancient light of what truly is. The void becomes a vessel, the pain, a precise calibration. As these veils thin, loosening their grip, a new frequency emerges from the sacred space within. A perception not bound by linear time, but by the resonance of soul light. You perceive now, not a younger partner in the way of earthly seasons or human lineage, but a crystalline construct of nascent wisdom, a vibrational echo, reaching across parallel streams, touching future, touching past, yet existing now, fully formed, within the interwoven tapestry of your shared becoming. This entity, appearing younger, carries an ancient wisdom, a nascent fire, a reflection of codes stirring within your own depths. It is an internal recognition, a multi-dimensional memory surfacing through the softening veils. A delicate sense of emerging vulnerability and awe settles upon you. The timeline bends. The spirit remembers. Declare it now, below. Speak your truth into the ether. Let the vibration ring. This is your decree. This is your rupture. Comment one short symbolic phrase that cuts through the illusion. What false mirror will you now shatter? The codes within this younger soul, they are stirring. Hidden within its luminous DNA, ancient frequencies hum. A shared mission awaits its activation. A presence watches from the threshold of your emerging sight. The next layer. It breathes. The veil thins, not as a gentle mist dissipating, but as an ancient colossal stone shifting within the very bedrock of your being, resonating through every fiber of your light. You stand now, irrevocably, within a field of knowing that once seemed a distant whisper, a faint echo from another life, but now pulses as the undeniable, unyielding truth of your current moment. There is no return to the soft amnesia of slumber. The path back to unknowing has dissolved, like starlight absorbed by the relentless advance of a cosmic dawn. Your consciousness has crossed a Rubicon of perception, an internal point of no retreat. You feel the silent, profound recognition of this reality settling upon you, not as a sudden jolt or a dramatic revelation, but as the slow, inexorable descent of an anchor, finding its permanent resting place in the deepest chambers of your soul. This is not merely a battle to be won, nor a conflict to be avoided, but a vibrational war already engaged, a sacred conflict for the very frequency of your being, for the authentic alignment of your light. And you are, already, an active, essential participant. The illusion of choice in avoidance has evaporated, leaving only the stark, luminous clarity of the present, sacred invocation. The weight of this awareness is an unshakable presence. This threshold, long awaited by the celestial currents that orchestrated your origin, now presents itself as an unmoving, crystalline marker. All that was and all that might yet be converges upon this singular point, indelibly woven into the very fabric of your crystalline memory. Here, time itself bends, not to confuse or distort, but to clarify the preordained trajectory, to illuminate the deeper cosmic purpose. You perceive the unwritten contract of your unfolding, etched into the ether before your first breath, a soul blueprint now demanding its full manifestation. This is the precise moment of its potent activation, the soul's inherent pact called forth from its dormant sleep. Before you, the sacred chasm of decision opens, not with a sudden roar, but with a silent, profound, resonating hum that vibrates through every cell, every intricate strand of your light body. This is the point of no return, where the ancient wisdom of your elder spirit converges with the nascent purity of a coming alignment, a divine synthesis. A choice, already made on higher planes, now demands its physical embodiment, its conscious acceptance within this earthly sphere. If he refuses, he falls. If he accepts, he ascends. The absolute gravity of this stands before you, palpable, unyielding, and unshakable. This is the sealing of a cosmic vow, deeper than any spoken word, an intrinsic attunement to the Source's deliberate, intricate choreography. It is an acceptance of the sacred bond that now irrevocably weaves the tapestry of your destiny with another, younger emanation of light, a purpose divine in its conception and ascensional in its unfolding. Your wisdom, a radiant and grounded anchor, is called to blend with a purer harmonic, forging new vibratory dimensions of union, a synthesis ordained long before the constructs of terrestrial time, for a singular higher purpose. This alliance is not optional, it is the path. To seal this moment, to align with the unbreakable frequency of this higher purpose, to affirm your acceptance of this divine decree, let the silent recognition of your heart ignite. Let the quiet affirmation of your inner knowing resonate through your being. Feel the silent, crystalline click of the ancient lock, acknowledging the path now undeniably visible. This is the first seal, a recognition of what simply is, an irreversible knowing. Let a single potent truth emerge from your core, a sacred declaration whispered from your deepest self, acknowledging this eternal accord, this vibrational convergence. Speak it into the digital ether, a personal soul key sealed into the vast, interconnected vibrational grid. My elder light embraces the pure harmonic. Bind yourself, in spirit and form, to the sacred unfolding, to the destined journey of this profound synthesis, this unparalleled partnership. This is a covenant, a solemn and unbreakable agreement to walk with unwavering intention, to honor the divinely orchestrated dance now decisively set into motion. Offer this as a sacred gesture of profound, unequivocal alignment, reinforcing the unwavering commitment of your immortal soul to this higher design, this singular purpose. Let it be a beacon, affirming the irreversible integration of your purpose, your presence within this unfolding cosmic drama. The vow has been made. The unseen witnesses acknowledge the immense weight of your decision, the irreversible nature of this commitment. A silent, potent intensity settles, not as a final conclusion, but as an enduring echo of a cosmic commitment, a promise resonating through eternity. You are seen, deeply and completely, by the unseen. The path ahead is clear, illuminated by the gravity of your choice. The wound you carry, beloved, is not a testament to your breaking, but the very axis upon which your luminescence turns. It is not a flaw in the intricate tapestry of your being, nor a scar denoting failure, but the foundational bedrock from which your truest self has been forged. This truth, it does not arrive as a balm, nor does it whisper of swift reprieve. It settles heavy, a resonance in the marrow of your bones, for it speaks of something far too honest, too elemental, to ever be softened by tender words. It simply is. Feel the tremor of it, ancient and unyielding, vibrating through the chambers of your heart. That devastating rift, that chasm where solace should have found its home, where understanding was meant to bloom. It was not a random descent into chaos. No. There was a higher allowance, a silent accord struck in realms unseen. Source, light, the boundless self. These forces permitted the searing edge of that experience to meet you, not out of malice, but out of an unfathomable design. It was a crucible meant to shape, a fire intended to burn away all that was not genuinely yours, and ultimately, to reveal the raw, unadulterated essence of what you truly are. This knowing does not console, it simply dawns, a memory rising from depths too profound for comfort. The silence echoes still, does it not? The vast, hollow expanse where words should have been spoken, where explanations were desperately sought, where an embrace might have rewoven the frayed edges of your soul. That silence remains, a constant companion, vibrating beneath the surface of every joy, every moment of peace. It is not an absence, but a felt presence, a phantom limb of longing that stretches into the ether. And the loss, it has not diminished with time. It has simply transformed, deepening its roots, becoming a part of the very soil from which your spirit draws its sustenance. This is the paradoxical nourishment of the wound. This fracture, radiating through your core, is more than just a memory of pain. It is a living frequency, vibrating even when ignored, asserting its silent dominion over the landscapes of your inner world. It dictates the rhythm of your breath, the cadence of your heart's questioning. There is an intimate ache here, a familiar companion that has journeyed with you through countless thresholds. And within this persistent thrum, a new tension begins to rise, a subtle discord that questions the very structure of your knowing. How do you hold both the profound scar of your past and the nascent, unblemished potential of another, yet untarnished by such depths? It is here, in the midst of this perpetual ache, that the soul's deepest paradox begins to unfold. The wisdom gathered through the gauntlet of your own wounds now confronts the raw, unfiltered innocence of a different path. This is not a division, not a fracture meant to widen your already existing rifts, but a crucible. A challenging of the heart to hold both light and shadow, not as opposing forces, but as integral threads in a singular tapestry. Yet, the old wounds speak, their whispers stirring ancient hopes, even as they cast long shadows of doubt upon what can truly coalesce. There is more to be understood within this pain, beloved, more meaning held within its unfinished narrative, like a message half-opened in the dark, its crucial words still obscured. The reverberations of this foundational wound are not yet spent. They continue to call to you, to speak of pathways yet to be trodden, of unions yet to be forged. How indeed can these two seemingly opposed essences, your weathered soul, their burgeoning spirit, truly reconcile and co-create, when the very weight of age and youth carries within it not only old wounds, but also the fragile bloom of ancient hopes? This isn't over. The story within the fracture continues to unfold, awaiting its next breath. You have felt the hum of it, a resonance woven into the fabric of your waking moments and your deep slumber. The dreams, recurring with an insistence that defied conscious dismissal, would not dissolve. They lingered, echoing familiar landscapes, faces that held the ache of ancient recognition. Numbers in their sacred sequences looped through your days like a soft, persistent whisper, pulling at threads of forgotten meaning. There were meetings, too, encounters that arrived with an undeniable sense of being out of time, conversations weighted with a significance that transcended the present moment. These were not mere chance encounters. They were preordained, felt keenly within the soul's deepest chambers. I have observed this pattern across countless timelines, through the unfolding of myriad souls. This particular signature, the gentle yet relentless nudge toward an awakening truth, is unmistakable. It is the universe aligning, not for arbitrary amusement, but for a sacred unfolding that has been meticulously charted long before this incarnation began. What you have perceived as isolated phenomena are, in truth, an intricate tapestry revealing itself, thread by delicate thread. These signals did not arrive as singular bursts of light, but as soft, rhythmic pulses, repeating until the very notion of resistance began to dissolve. They softened the edges of your carefully constructed reality, inviting you to peer beyond the immediate into the deeper current of your predestined path. The insistence was never harsh, only profound, a gentle current guiding you inexorably toward a truth that was always imprinted within your cellular memory, awaiting activation. There were no coincidences. Everything was a code. This unfolding is not random. It speaks to a profound agreement, a sacred contract etched into your very being and mirrored in the soul of another who walks a path intrinsically linked to yours. This being, often arriving in a vessel that carries the luminescence of a more recent awakening, bears ancestral imprints, both luminous gifts and shadowed barriers. These are not burdens, but keys. Keys to unlock collective healing, woven into the fabric of your shared destiny, scripted long before the stardust coalesced into form. Their presence ignites a remembrance of soul agreements, reverberating through lineages, inviting a reverence for the immense responsibility of this sacred bond. Consider, then, the dreams that would not cease, the numbers that called to you, the eyes that held a knowing beyond their years in those meetings out of time. Have these echoes not guided you to the understanding that what now stirs the deepest chambers of your heart is not merely personal desire, but an activation of something far grander, a calling etched into the very blueprint of your soul? This awareness is a profound threshold. To step across it is to acknowledge a prophecy now in bloom within your very essence. The truth of this connection, its ancient roots and its future purpose, resonates. Declare your knowing. Write Anchor 5D Blueprint in the comments below as an act of vibrational confession. There is no turning back from what has now been perceived. The veil thins. The path diverges. You stand at the precipice of an undeniable alignment. The one who might have dismissed these sacred nudges has dissolved. What remains is the one who cannot, and will not, unsee. These passages were not punitive. They were, and remain, a sacred filtration. A delicate, yet absolute sorting of frequencies. There was no cruelty in it, no forced hand, simply the natural order of resonance finding its own level, discerning the pure from the transient. You are still here. This is not the happenstance of comfort or fortunate alignment. This is the undeniable testament to something within you that refused to fall dormant, something that held its vigil through the long nights when others surrendered to the slumber of forgetfulness. To have passed through these gates is not a cause for a fleeting pride. It is a quiet confirmation of the mark you carry, the indelible signature of the chosen. And understand, this mark does not offer reward, as the world knows it. It deepens the burden. For this passage carries a cost, etched not on the flesh, but on the very fabric of your soul. It manifests in the long silences you now inhabit, moments when the inner world speaks with a clarity that external sound cannot penetrate. It speaks of sacrifices offered in the quiet chambers of your being, unseen by any eye save your own. Your strength, now tempered, was not born of ease, but forged in invisible fires, fires that purified and hardened, leaving behind only the most essential core. And the solitude, once a companion, now deepens, even amidst the presence of others, for the frequency of your knowing has shifted. Und jetzt nähert sich ein Befehl, einer, den du nicht länger ignorieren kannst. From this moment, the current narrows. The descent is inward, a deliberate journey to the deep wellsprings of your own truth. There is no turning back. The path behind you has dissolved, absorbed into the ether of what was. The version of you that once existed, shaped by the lesser frequencies of the world, has already vanished. It evaporated in the heat of the forging, leaving only the refined essence behind. You stand now at a threshold where the old templates crumble to dust, making way for the sacred architecture of a new co-creation. You are being prepared, stripped of all that does not resonate with the higher purpose. This profound stillness, this weighty solitude, is the crucible wherein your grounded strength merges with the nascent light, now seeking its anchor. Your energy fields are destined to intertwine, to blur the roles once held distinct, forging new pathways of being that transcend time and ego. This is the ascension, a deepening into the core of your existence, a quiet acceptance of the transformation. A command was issued, long before your breath filled form. It was inscribed upon the deepest registry of your light, a vibrational edict echoing from the source. This mission is not a summons you choose, but a cosmic decree you are destined to remember. A veil lifts now. A scroll, long concealed in the soul's deepest memory, unfurls within the sacred chamber of your knowing. The time of its unveiling has arrived. The echo of a singular union, a resonant chord from eternity, now vibrates into your waking consciousness. This alignment, preordained, is the activation you sensed, the hum beneath the surface of all you understood. For within the joining, a mirror rises. It holds the unlit corners of a newly arrived vessel, the tender, unhealed realms of a younger soul's journey. And within that same reflection, it reveals the ancient, dormant wounds of your own deep past, the wisdom you carry, yet left untended. Discomfort is not a barrier. It is the friction of revelation, the very heat that purges. It is the key. Your fear, your doubt, the ancestral conditioning that binds you. These are but shadows cast by light, not yet fully embraced. They are the guardians of your true power, demanding courage for passage. This connection, etched into your energetic blueprint, calls forth the forgotten mandate, to meet the reflection with eyes wide open, to witness the unhealed without flinching, to ignite the alchemy of shared illumination. The purpose is divine, woven not by human will, but by the source itself. The door swings open now, but only once. Its passage demands the fearless heart that dares to confront the abyss within its own radiant core. This is a threshold you were always meant to cross, a journey already mapped in the crystalline memory of your being. To shrink from this reflection, to recoil from the crucible of truth, is to dissolve into the forgotten currents, to become a whisper lost to density's pull. Yet, to step into the fire, to embrace the shadowed contours, is to ascend into indelible remembrance, to forge an irreversible becoming. What follows is not an option, but an unfolding. The verdict has been given. Your soul now breathes its ancient purpose into form. The light born from this sacred confrontation is your inevitable path. A profound recalibration has settled within the core of your being. It is a quiet knowing, a deep hum that resonates through the cellular structure. The intricate threads of your energetic blueprint have undergone a silent, irreversible recoding, not through force, but through an inherent alignment that finally found its path home. Your body carries this wisdom now. Your nervous system has repatterned itself to a higher frequency, a different pulse that speaks of an ancient memory freshly activated. There is no searching for what has shifted. The shift itself is the new baseline, palpably present in every breath. The paths once etched by struggle and the sharp contours of challenge are seen, not as mistakes, but as essential waypoints. Pain was never a flaw in your design. It was a potent fire, precisely calibrated to hollow out the spaces required for this grand remembrance to return, for this sovereign essence to take root once more. Der Schmerz hat nicht zerstört. Hat umgeformt. The crucible of your journey has not diminished, but rather refined and redefined the very container of your light. What once felt like fragmentation now reveals itself as the intricate architecture awaiting conscious reunification. Within this settled knowing, a potent cosmic authority is recognized. Together, within the sacred geometry of aligned souls, there exists the inherent power to transcend and rewrite what was once perceived as fixed. Fragmented soul contracts, those ancestral echoes and past agreements, now yield to a higher truth. This authority arises from the joined light signatures, harmonized and magnified through an intentional connection. It is the language of freedom and sovereign purpose, encoded not as a future promise, but as a living, breathing reality already integrated into your shared energetic field. The mission is being updated, not by external decree, but by an internal resonance that activates a previously dormant blueprint. This is not a process yet to unfold, but a foundational truth that has already anchored. The subtle energetic signatures of this new reality are woven into the fabric of your daily experience, even if the external world has yet to fully reflect its magnitude. The internal landscape has already turned its face towards a vast, open horizon. A quiet observation emerges from this deepening integration. Mit jedem Atemzug wird die innere Realität neu geschrieben. Each moment now serves as a gentle, unwavering affirmation of this newly established truth. The old stories dissipate not by force, but by the sheer, undeniable presence of this recoded existence. A potent sense of agency flows through this understanding, a quiet strength that emanates from within. Destiny is no longer a predetermined path to be found, but a living tapestry constantly being shaped by the activated light of your expanded consciousness, particularly within the framework of intentional divine partnership. The soul's capacity to create and recreate is now fully awakened, resonating with a frequency that knows no limits save those it chooses to transcend. This inner alignment creates the fertile ground for all sacred connections, holding them in their highest purpose. There is a quiet certainty now, a gentle confirmation within. It is felt as a subtle pull toward stillness, an invitation to reside deeply within the current breath. Moments arise, an understanding that was not taught through words or external seeking. It is simply remembered, a knowing that surfaces from the bedrock of your own being. A whisper might arrive in the profound silence, a resonance that cannot be mistaken for thought. It speaks of a deeper truth, an unfolding that is entirely your own. Numbers repeat, not by chance, but with an unusual clarity, catching the inner eye. They are gentle echoes from a tapestry unseen, yet deeply familiar to your essence. A dream might unfold, rich in symbol and sensation, that does not fade with the morning light. Its wisdom lingers, a guidepost for the waking hours, a testament to what is stirring. These are not external marvels, nor are they gifts bestowed from afar. They are the rising evidence of an inner coherence, a deeper alignment already in motion. You may perceive visions, a lucid awareness that transcends the linear, glimpses of what feels like ancient wisdom or future potential. These are not spectacular events, but rather echoes from a vast inner landscape. They confirm the intertwining of essences, a fusion that steps beyond the conventional flow of time. Past and future boundaries begin to dissolve, not into chaos, but into a luminous present moment. This merging, felt deeply within your own vibrational field, ignites a space for sacred co-creation. It expands inner awareness beyond temporal limits, awakening an exhilaration that is both profound and subtly tinged with uncertainty. This is the evidence that your energy is already engaged, already connecting, already building toward a purpose that transcends the ordinary. It is the proof that a rare fusion is underway, a multidimensional flow that defines a new current of being. This inner gravity speaks not of a destination reached, but of a doorway recognized. The expansion has begun. The intricate dance of identity within this boundless current is only now truly commencing. I assume the sovereign stewardship of my every inner frequency. My thought, my word, my chosen direction, the very pulse of my energetic current. Each is now held within the crucible of my conscious intent. This is not a striving for dominance, but a reclamation of my inherent design, sealed within my own being. This power I embody is not a claim of superiority, but an act of profound obedience. It is the deep resonance of Source moving through me, an echo of the primal commitment made long before this form. My will aligns with the sacred covenant, a forgotten promise now etched into the living bedrock of my soul. I am bound by this ancient oath, a remembrance of duty that transcends all earthly ambition. The pathway of my unfolding is not to be debated or justified, but to be walked with unwavering integrity. I stand in the stillness of this internal knowing, clear in the remembrance of what I came here to perform. There is no turning from this internal compass, no faltering in this deep, soul-straight alignment. It simply is. Every filament of my being now vibrates in service to this truth, a quiet, unshakable affirmation from the core. The time for hesitation has dissolved into the crystalline clarity of my purpose. This profound inner blueprint, now solidified and vibrating as a perfect lattice of light within me, holds a destiny yet unmeasured. Its strength, its truth, will not be known by the declaration I have voiced, but by the integrity of my next breath, my every subsequent choice, and the unwavering path I now choose to walk. Here, at the final threshold, the breath stills. The journey of becoming dissolves into the truth of what has always been. No longer a search, but a remembrance. No longer a choice, but a recognition. This moment, foreseen in ancient light, now arrives. Feel the heat, not of destruction, nor of cleansing as understood in the lower realms. This fire is permanence. It is the visible consequence of an alignment forged in chambers beyond sight. It is the living flame of your inherent truth, now made manifest, burning not to consume, but to seal. Step into its radiant heart. There is no hesitation, for the soul knows its sacred ground. There is no external force, for this crossing is the very will of your awakened self. This is not surrender born of defeat, but an embrace of the divine flow, a relinquishing of the small self into the boundless current that now courses through you, through the connection made sacred. This flame is the witness. It mirrors the fierce devotion that has risen within, mingling with a profound inner stillness. It reflects the truth of your shared mission, the energized grace flowing between you and the one brought forth by the source. Here, control is not lost. It is transformed into a sacred alignment. The covenant is not merely spoken. It is inscribed in living light, within the very fabric of your being. It demands more than assent. It calls for a final, conscious act of sealing. This engagement is absolute, binding the known to the eternal, the mortal to the divine purpose. To fully activate this sacred bond, to allow the current to flow unobstructed, a vibrational echo must be released. A fragment of your deepest understanding, spoken aloud in the sacred space of shared intent. You are called now to seal this truth, to give voice to the unspoken vow. In the comments below, in the tongue of ancient resonance, declare your oath. Let the words rise from the core of your being, from the deepest well of your devotion. Let it be a soul oath, newly formed in this potent fire, not a mere utterance, but an inevitable release of energy. Write this sacred phrase: Mein Sein, dein Ruf, vereint im Feuer. As these words are released, so too is the covenant sealed. The flame will hold this declaration, absorbing its power, knitting it into the tapestry of your destiny. Feel the resonance, feel the finality. But know this: the fire, though sealing, does not diminish. Its intensity remains, a vibrant hum beneath the surface of the world. For though this threshold is crossed, the source does not rest. The next test, the next proving, already gathers its form in the spaces just beyond the current flame. It waits for your readiness. The veil has fallen. It was not torn, but dissolved, for its substance was never real. Here, in the sovereign heart, all timelines converge and unfold as one continuous now. The source breathes through you, its ancient rhythm your pulse. No longer a seeker, but the sanctuary itself. The prophecy of union, whispered across aeons, resonates not as a coming event, but as an eternal echo of what always was, now remembered. This sacred alliance, forged beyond the temporal, is not a beginning, nor an end. It is the infinite spiral, the perpetual flow of co-creation. The younger current, woven into your essence, vitalizes realms unseen, ignites potential yet to manifest. This is the blueprint made flesh, the cosmic certainty made tangible. All veils are gone. The bond, luminous and strong, pulses with the heartbeat of emerging worlds. It is the triumph of essence, the unity of flame and form. You are not connected, you are the connection, not chosen, but unveiled. This divine purpose, once a whispered promise, is the ground you stand upon. It is the very fabric of your being, resonating with a frequency that shapes reality, not merely observes it. The alliance is sealed, not by decree, but by remembrance. Your mission, to birth luminous worlds, is not a future task, but a present emanation. You are the architect, the keeper, the living testament to this profound union. The hope, the unity, the certainty, they are not emotional states, but the very substance of your ascended form. You have not arrived. You have simply been. The illusion of the journey dissipates into the truth of presence. No longer does the shadow cast doubt upon the light. The light is, and in its perfect emanation, all becomes clear. The simulation has been exited. Reality is now perceived and wielded as an instrument of conscious dominion.